S-U-C-K.
Suck, suck, suck! Hi, and welcome to week 6 of the I-Formation. I'm Jeff Gibbons.
I'm John Moist.
And good week this week, buddy. 12-3, hey, and 10-5. Of course, the difference being the 2 picks that I went against them on.
Again? Haha.
Yeah, well, 7, but I know. I'm spotting you quite a lead there, Hombre. Things are about to change.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Stick around. We're going to tell you how we see it this week.
Welcome back to the I-Formation. Now we're going to make our picks for week number 6, starting with a battle between Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans in Houston on Thursday night. What do you think?
2 teams in the same division, always good for an exciting matchup. I think Luck is going to overcome here. He's already thrown 14 touchdown passes this year in the first 5 weeks. Houston is number 22 against the pass. Do the math, right?
Yeah, Luck versus Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
I don't think that, well, Houston has a shot, but not a good one. How's that?
I think Foster's going to get lots of touches in this game. That's the only hope they have. I think this is the Colts at least by a major.
At least.
And that's if they take it easy on them. Mm-hmm. Next, we got Green Bay going into Miami to play my Dolphins. And here we go again. Green Bay's been doing everything right these last couple of games. Even the run game, Lacey getting going last week. And the pass game was settled in. Miami may have Moreno back this week, but they lost Eric Shelby this week, suspended indefinitely. And there's question marks around defensive lineman Randy Starks and the defensive back Jimmy Wilson. Even Rashad Jones is he can come back this week, I think, but I don't know if he's going to be where he needs to be. So a lot of question marks in Miami this week, and they've been a hot and cold team all year. It's I think they're going to keep this close, John, but I don't think at the end of the day they're going to be able to beat Green Bay even at home. I'm giving Green Bay 3 points. Yeah.
Miami's secondary and pass rush a bit better this year, and I think they can hold Aaron Rodgers under his typical 300-yard game. But with Green Bay just has a bit too much. I think you see Eddie Lacy will continue on the ground this week, and Green Bay by a score, I say.
Okay. Next, we got New England. New and improved New England last week, going into Buffalo and Ralph Wilson to play the Bills.
Well, we got to give it to them. They shut a lot of mouths last week, you know. Most people went with Cincinnati, including both of us, and even some people were saying it was the end of an era. But New England came out and answered their critics, and I still don't expect to see them as a Super Bowl contender this year, but
I'm still
they
on the
certainly showed us last week.
I'm still on the end of the era thing, and I mean, I'm not going to get started on Tom Brady, but I mean, there's definitely discord in New England now about how he's being left out to dry. He wants to play for a few more years. I don't think it's in the cards in New England. There was even a rumor about a possible trade this week. I'm not going to get off on the organization here and go through that, but you know what? At the end of the day, you're right. The Pats found a way to score 41 points on that defense last week, and I know they've gone to Carl Orton in Buffalo, who's doing he's doing reasonably well. Did throw a pick 6 last week, but I think that Patriots defense is going to step up and is going to handle.
Yeah, I think the defense
Buffalo.
is going to be good for the Pats this week as well.
Yeah, I'm giving the Pats. I don't see this as a strong game for the Pats, but I mean I'm going to give them nonetheless. I'm going to say 10 points for the Pats for sure.
Sounds right. I like it.
Next, we got Carolina going into Cincinnati to play the Bengals, who are they just simply played poor against the Patriots last week. Just to continue from here, they're still a great team offensively and defensively. They walked into a hornet's nest last week in Foxborough. I think that they're going to rebound this week. Look for Dalton to have a big week. That's the way I see this. They're at home. It's going to be at least a score against this team.
I think this game, personally, I think this game is going to be a huge win for Cincinnati. I would not be surprised to see Cincinnati win this game by 2 touchdowns or more.
Okay. Next, we got Pittsburgh going into Cleveland to play the Browns. Always a good game, John.
Yes.
This is the rematch for this year. Pittsburgh winning the first one. They've been poor offensively, though. I mean, we made jokes about it last week, and I think I said they'd win 10-7 or something. They won 17-9.
Yeah.
You know,
Against Jacksonville.
yeah, not getting it going. Now, Jacksonville's defense has shown up, and they've played better. Cleveland has played, the same on defense. Their defense has been not where it should be compared with that team. Like, they really haven't played as well. So we got two teams now that are sort of going to fuse together and play a game in a division, but both a lot at stake
Did
for
we
both
get
of
the
these
status
teams.
on Joe Hayden after?
He's got the hip injury, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure at game time or at film time now. I'm not sure if he's going this week or not. I haven't got a detail.
That's a huge piece of the puzzle.
It sure is. I just think that Hoyer is gonna hold court at home, and I think he's gonna find a way to win this game late. I'm thinking this is a field goal, and this is gonna be a low-scoring game.
I'm thinking 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
Cleveland wins.
All right. Next, we got Baltimore going into Tampa Bay to play a tough contest against the Buccaneers. Baltimore's played 2 consecutive road games outside their division, which is always a tough spurt for a team. And now you've got the Buccaneers going home for their first game in 3 weeks. So lots at stake here. I think this is going to be a very close game as well. I'm picking a lot of these to be close this week.
Low-scoring, defensive, close game.
I think so, and I think Baltimore's going to stuff the holes on with respect to the run game.
I like Baltimore by a score. I
Do
really
you?
I
I'm
do.
thinking a field goal, but we're both agreeing on Baltimore to win this game. So yeah. So we'll wait and see how it
I
goes.
just think they're flat out a better team. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No disrespect to Tampa Bay.
No, because they have surprised us a couple of times already. As the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Next, we got Jacksonville going into Tennessee, and I'm thinking this is the week, baby. I'm thinking this is the week that the Jacksonville Jaguars get their first win. They're playing a team now that's took a bash to their confidence because I picked them last week.
Yeah.
I picked them last week, and felt really good at the half when it was 28-3, and then they began the meltdown. Man, turned up the heat and the chili cheese just started to ooze and ended up 29-28. I just think that Jacksonville, who has played defensively, has played better defensively over the last week or so, I think this is where they step in and they surprise Tennessee at home. And I'm thinking it's a touchdown.
I like Tennessee by 6.
All right. I'll wait till the end of the game this time before
It's Jacksonville. Come on.
All right. Okay. That could become a Dallas Cowboy line there.
Come
I'm
on,
thinking,
man.
come on, man. Next, we got Detroit going into Minnesota. And this is another game we disagree on. It's just injury troubles for Detroit at this point. This is the way I'm looking at this. We got Bell, Bush, and Johnson. Sounds like a law firm, doesn't it? Right? All down in injury. And the one diamond in the rough that I see here from Minnesota, right, who's really picked up where AP left off, is Matt Asiata. He has played incredible as a running back, showed a lot of versatility. And I'm just thinking that Minnesota finds a way to win this close at home.
I think Detroit has a better defense than Minnesota. They got some bad injuries there in offense, but I think defensively Detroit has shown up this year. And I think that they'll create a couple of turnovers, maybe a fumble or two, and get the victory here on the road. I'm going to call it a very close game as well, a field goal or less. Yeah. Detroit.
Okay. Next we got Denver going to play the embattled New York Jets. G-O-N-E. Gone, gone, gone!
S-U-C-K.
Suck, suck, suck! Sorry, Dave. Broncos are just getting...
Sean, buddy.
Yeah, Broncos are just getting better and better.
Yeah.
We were having this conversation this week. Yeah. The Jets are struggling offensively.
This will be Rex Ryan's last game as a coach. How's that?
See, just,
with any luck.
man, I gotta tell you, warms the cockles of my heart. Awesome, awesome. I would love to see that, Rex Ryan. I don't mean that. I mean Rex Ryan. Denver by 3 scores, baby. 3 scores.
I like it.
3 scores and new coach a go.
Of course I like it.
Of course you do.
Go Broncos.
That's right. Yeah. Next we got San Diego going to visit the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, I'd laugh too.
And
divisional rivalry. Oakland loses bad.
Historically speaking, you know the San Diego's defense is tops in scoring in the National Football League now?
I believe it. Yeah.
And incredible. Yeah, they're not doing too shabby on offense either, that fellow Rivers. I'm not a big fan of Rivers, I never have been, but I got to say, growing in that role, baby. Playing very well. San Diego by at least 14.
Yeah.
At least. Moving on. Washington in Arizona to play the Cardinals. Redskins are on the road. This is a short week for them. That in itself can spell trouble. Arizona's tough at home. That's not cool for the Redskins. And the Redskins are the Cardinals are hoping to have either Palmer or Drew Stanton back for this matchup. So that makes a big difference. I think defensively, though, Arizona at home, I think they're going to get to Kirk Cousins, and I think they're just going to systematically pick him apart. I am going to keep this within a score. I'm going to say 7 points.
It's going to be a close game, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to run any. Take the under here. That's my pick for the week.
Washington's going to play hard and really try to get the victory here, and maybe an upset in the making here. But I will go with Arizona, and I think that Larry Fitzgerald is going to wake up for this one.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Good to know, yeah. Hope he doesn't sleep through it. Dallas now going into Seattle. This is a big test for the new and improved Dallas Cowboys. But, of course, I'm still holding out judgment. I'm not going with the Cowboy love. Sorry, Barry. Sorry, everybody else. Because until they realize that December doesn't start and end with the letter L, we're going to wait and see how that goes for them. Seahawks continue to find ways to morph and win games. Russell Wilson, Monday Night Football, this week set a record, 122 yards rushing on the ground for a quarterback, which actually, when we go back to the Trent Richardson trade now for Indianapolis, is more yards rushing in any one game that Trent Richardson has had in any game this year. So that's a pretty
I believe, was that
cool
not
scan.
a Monday night record?
It was, I just said.
Okay, sorry.
Thanks for staying with us.
Yeah, really.
All right. And you know what? They played well on both sides of the ball. What this is going to boil down to, even though, like I said, Dallas has played well on both sides of the ball here. A, Seattle is at home. Okay. And B, Seattle is incredible defensively.
And C, Seattle is at home.
That's right. Yeah. I think the Seahawks have what it takes, the Legion of Boom, to slow down DeMarco Murray. Nobody stops DeMarco Murray, but they slow him down. And they get to Romo. I think that as the game goes on, it'll be like a festering bag of fruit. It'll just be harder and harder to watch and smell.
There's a couple of times this year, too, I got to say, with all the respect for what Dallas has done, it's a 4-1 record, and they're doing fantastic. Romo, I've watched a couple of these games, and there's been a few plays where he's gotten lucky. He's thrown a few.
Like the one I lost, the second game I lost against you this week, I picked Houston to beat them. That went to overtime, but Romo nearly snatched it away in the last thing, giving the ball back to them with a minute and a half to play.
I will say that confidence in his receivers, and that's a big part of being a great
Des Bryant really helped him along this week. He did play well. But you know what? You got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. So I got to give Romo some credit here as well. But it's not going to help him in Seattle.
No.
Seattle by at least 10.
Yeah.
Chicago going into Atlanta. The Jekyll and Hyde Chicago Bears.
Yeah, which team is going to show up here?
Well, this is it. Now you're going into, in addition to that, they've been struggling, and they're going into a dome where a team has played really well at home in Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. And I don't see this being a low-scoring affair. I think both of these teams are going to hurt defensively at the end of the game.
This is going to be a high-scoring battle, and which team is going to have the better receivers on the day, because both teams have great receivers, and which ones are going to play a better game?
I just think Matty Ice in the 2-minute drill marches them down, and they kick the ball to the uprights.
Yep.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
3 points.
Okay.
Next we got the Giants going to play Philadelphia. And I'm calling this the game of the week. I think this is going to be an incredible game to watch. And also, we differ on who do you think is going to win this. The Giants, Eli Manning has had his best 5 games of his entire career stat-wise.
Really?
In his last 5.
Didn't know.
And he's really putting things together. They're scoring points. They're turning that whole team around. And Philadelphia, while they're scoring points, those points are coming mostly from defensive plays and special teams, and they have smoked teams. From a defensive standpoint and from special teams, like returning punts, kicks, blocked. The last two games, they've gotten a touchdown the last 2 games out of a blocked punt in the first quarter. Incredible, but they are struggling offensively.
Their offensive line is makeshift. They got a lot of patchwork done there. They got a lot of injuries, and Giants defense is certainly going to give Nick Foles a big pass rush. I'm going to go with the Eagles here because I'm thinking that I just think Eli's going to have a bad game. I think that the Eagles are a ball hawking defense. They're going to come up with a couple of key picks and win a close one. Sean McCoy on the ground finally has a big game.
I see that Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie is questionable for this contest. That's a huge smack for the corner, right? But the problem is here, I still think that they've got enough that they can keep this close and they can win this by a field goal. I got a lot of games by field goal, but this is the upset of the week for me, and I think that...
Well, there are a lot of close games on the board this week. There's no doubt about it.
So I'm going with the Giants in Philadelphia, and of course you're going with...
I will go with the Eagles, but I understand your confidence in the Giants for sure.
All right. And last but not least, the Monday Nighter, we got San Francisco going into St. Louis. Now, this is where I lose confidence in my buddy here. I think this is going to be a close game. I will give you that, and I think St. Louis at home will keep it close. But I think at the end of the day, this is San Francisco by a field goal. Now I'll let you go.
Now, I'm going to go against every single expert out there because I haven't seen another one yet that's going to go with the Rams. I'm going to go against all of them. I'm going to say that Jeff Fisher shows up and has his game plan ready for San Francisco, and I think the Rams are going to win this game. And I think you're going to see a big game from Austin Davis, their rookie quarterback, and I think the Rams defense finally shows up, and you might see Robert Quinn finally get a couple of sacks under his belt. What's going on here is that Long is missing off that defense, and teams have been coming in. They've been double teaming, sometimes even triple teaming Quinn, and this is why Quinn is not having the year he's supposed to. But now you got San Francisco coming in. Harbaugh got just enough of an ego that he won't double or triple team Quinn, and that's going to be his mistake. Quinn for a big game, Davis for a big game. St. Louis wins by 3.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
I did.
Okay. Well then, there you have it. Stick around, folks.
Upset of the year.
Upset of the year.
Yeah.
Upset of the stomach. Stick around. We're going to tell you our team and players of the week in a minute.
Thought I smelled something.
Hi, we're back with our player and teams of the week. And this week, we're going to make it simple. I'm going with an upset in the New York Giants, so I'm picking the Giants, and I'm also picking Eli Manning. Who do you like this week?
Well, I'm going with a huge upset when I'm picking the Rams to beat the Niners, so I'll go with Austin Davis, quarterback for the Rams.
I got to tell you, I'd be happy to see those Niners lose to the St. Louis Rams. Sorry, Albert. But that will be an interesting call. And
well, I certainly would be happy now, too.
all right. That's the way we saw it this week, folks. Come back next week and see how we did. You know how to reach us. You just get all the details on our credits, including our YouTube channel. You'll get our Facebook page. You'll also get our email at Gmail. So that's it for this week from me. Just remember, when you're enjoying the games on the weekend, don't drink and drive. Don't do anything foolish. Respect the game. So, anything for you?
That's it.
All right, man. Well, then until next week, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Have fun.